So, let's talk about an idea that could honestly be a game changer for how you go through your day. It's called the sovereignty of self regard. We're going to break down how you can stop living for what other people think and start living from a place of real inner strength. But first, just think about this for a second. That photo you decided not to post, or that opinion you kind of swallowed in a meeting, maybe even the shirt you picked out this morning. How much of that was actually for you? And how much was for some vague, invisible audience of judges you've got living in your head? It's a really important question, and the answer, well, it might just surprise you. So why is this so tough? Why do we all fall into what you could call the opinion trap? Well, it turns out it's not some personal failing. It's actually a deep, fundamental part of being human. Let's dig into why we're basically hardwired to care so much about what other people think. That's right, it's a survival thing. For thousands and thousands of years, our very survival hinged on being accepted by our tribe. If you got kicked out, that was pretty much a death sentence. So that nagging little voice in your head going, "What will they think?" That's not weakness. It's an ancient survival program that's still running. It's literally biological. And this old instinct, it gets reinforced from every direction. It all starts with that evolutionary need to belong. Then you've got our childhood, where we're taught to seek approval from parents and teachers. We carry that primal fear of being rejected into our adult lives, and now, well, now it's supercharged by the 24/7 feedback loop of social media. It's just the perfect storm for needing other people to tell us we're okay. Okay, but what if there was another way to live? A real alternative to constantly looking over your shoulder, waiting for applause from others? Well, there is, and it's all about building what we're calling a sovereignty of self-regard. So what does that even mean? It's really about a massive shift in where you get your validation from. Instead of, outsourcing your self-worth to the totally unpredictable whims of other people, you become your own primary source. Your guidance system, your compass, becomes internal, based on what you truly value. And the difference this makes, it's huge. Living for external validation is like being on an unstable, anxiety-fueled roller coaster. You're always just reacting. But when you make that switch to self-regard, you start building a foundation that's stable, calm, and proactive. You become resilient instead of fragile. You're the one in the driver's seat of your life. I absolutely love this quote. It just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Your value is not up for a vote. It's not decided by a committee or by how many likes you get. It's a monarchy, a sovereignty of one. And guess what? You're the one on the throne. All right, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do we actually do it? How do we go from just understanding this idea to actually living it day in and day out? Let's get practical. The trick here is to start small and be really intentional about it. First step, define your values. What actually matters to you? Honesty, creativity, compassion, get it down on paper. That's your compass. Second, curate your influences. You don't have to stop caring what everybody thinks, just what most people think. Choose a small group, your inner circle, whose opinions you genuinely respect. And third, and this is key, practice small acts of authenticity. Maybe you just voice a different opinion in a low-stakes meeting, or you wear something that makes you feel amazing. Who cares about the trends? These little acts, they build that muscle over time. And that, of course, brings us to you, right now. What is one tiny thing you can do today? It doesn't have to be a big deal. Maybe it's just ordering the lunch you really want instead of what your friends are getting, or putting on a song you love without worrying if it's cool. What's going to be your one small act? Because here's the thing, when you start making those small choices, they add up, they compound, and what comes next is this incredible feeling of freedom. Let's talk about the payoff, the rewards of living your life from the inside out. The benefits are just massive. Your confidence isn't so fragile anymore because it's not on loan from somebody else. Making decisions gets way easier because you're using your own compass. Your relationships get more real, more authentic because you're actually showing up as yourself. And with all of that comes this amazing creative freedom and just a deep, quiet sense of inner peace that can't be rattled by a nasty comment or a bad review. So, I'll leave you with this final thought. Take a second and really let it sink in. If all judgment was off the table, if absolutely no one was watching, no one was keeping score, who would you be? The answer to that question, that's the person you can start becoming right now, today.